Y&R Mega Bombshell Highlight: Kidnappings, Affairs, Wars and a Thanksgiving Nobody Will Survive. Genoa City is spiraling into pure chaos as four explosive storylines collide. Lily's world shatters when she walks in on Phyllis and Kane crossing a line that can never be erased, and just hours later, Nick declares all-out war on Matt Clark after uncovering a vicious plot that threatens his entire family. But the danger doesn't stop there. Over the next 2 weeks, Adam's fury erupts, Matt's kidnapping scheme tightens like a trap, and Thanksgiving is set to detonate into the messiest holiday the Newmans and Abbotts have ever seen. And while Sharon and Nick try desperately to outrun Matt's deadly game, Victor jumps into the battlefield, launching a counterattack that pushes Jack to pressure Nikki for answers she may not be ready to give. Romances are combusting, families are breaking, and a villain is closing in, leaving Genoa City on the edge of a disaster no one can escape. This is the calm before the storm, and the storm starts now. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. Y&R News story: Lily walks in on Phyllis and Kane as Nick declares war on Matt Clark. Genoa City turned into a powder keg on Tuesday, November 18th, as simmering secrets, forbidden passion, and a resurrected enemy pushed several residents to their breaking point. From a fiery confrontation at the athletic club to a chilling vow made across the country in Los Angeles, the day's events reshaped alliances and set the stage for explosive fallout. Below is a full-length, 1,100-word breakdown of the drama, told in a fresh, copyright-safe style while preserving the key beats of the episode. Nick's grim revelation in LA: Matt Clark has to go. In a tense Los Angeles hotel room, Nick Newman struggled to contain the dread sitting in his gut. His son, Noah, had signed himself out of the hospital despite warnings from doctors, but that wasn't the part keeping Nick awake. The real nightmare was the man he claimed to have seen with his own eyes: Matt Clark, the sociopath who terrorized his family decades ago. Calling Victor, Nick laid everything on the table. Noah had run straight back into danger, and worse, he was tangled up in a secret affair with Sienna, the same woman Matt had been posing as Mitch Bacall to marry. The overlap of lies, deception, and obsession painted a horrific picture. Matt was targeting the Newmans again, and this time he was using Noah as bait. Victor's shock crackled through the phone. Matt Clark had been presumed dead and buried. The idea that the man had survived, let alone rebuilt a life in disguise, left Victor furious and ready for war. As he absorbed Nick's account, the message became clear: if Matt truly was alive, he wouldn't remain that way for long. Nick didn't waver. He wasn't talking lawsuits or press releases, he wanted Clark gone for good. "We are not living through this again," he told his father, setting the harshest tone we've heard from him in months. And in that moment, father and son found rare common ground. If Matt Clark was back, his days were numbered. Society: Nikki and Jack's war of words and worries. Back in Genoa City, Nikki arrived at Society hoping for a peaceful moment, but immediately spotted Lily. Their small talk ended as soon as Lily got a phone call, leaving Nikki alone just long enough for Jack to stroll in and take a seat at her table. Their banter quickly shifted into familiar territory: Victor's heavy-handed tactics, the endless Newman-Abbott rivalry, and the collateral damage those battles often cause. Jack didn't bother hiding his frustration. He warned Nikki that Victor was gearing up for something big, something destructive, and if Jabot became the next target, Jack wouldn't sit quietly. Nikki didn't deny Victor's stubbornness, but she tried to downplay the threat. Jack wasn't having any of it. His patience had limits, and Victor was inching dangerously close to the line. Even so, both acknowledged the respect they still had for one another, even as they stood on opposite sides of Genoa City's oldest war. Nikki vowed she wouldn't stand by if Victor tried to burn Jabot to the ground, but Jack doubted even she could stop him. Nearby, Lily wrapped up a phone call with her daughter, Maddie, then drifted into memories of her complicated history with Kane. His promises, his betrayals, and now his sudden attempts to make things right hung in the air. Her expression made one thing clear: Kane wasn't completely out of her heart, not yet. Phyllis and Kane heat up, and then things get risky. Upstairs at the GCAC, Phyllis and Kane gave in to the tension that had been buzzing between them for weeks. Sparks flew, clothes dropped, and the two found themselves tangled in sheets and laughter. Their chemistry burned hot, but once Phyllis headed to the shower, Kane made a move that shifted the tone entirely. Alone in the room, he spotted her laptop. Curiosity, or something darker, got the best of him. He sat down, tapping through passwords, attempting to dig into whatever secrets Phyllis might be hiding. Whether it was revenge, strategy, or insecurity driving him, he didn't get far. Phyllis suddenly peeked from the bathroom doorway, catching him mid-attempt. She didn't confront him outright, not yet. Instead, she called him into the shower, her voice dripping with a warning beneath the flirtation. Kane slammed the laptop shut and hurried in, unaware that Phyllis had witnessed everything. The question now is, did he just sign his own death sentence in her world? Victor and Adam brace for a war on two fronts. Later at the Newman Ranch, Lily arrived unexpectedly to confront Victor about something she'd suspected for days: the theft of Kane's AI program. She believed Victor either possessed it or knew exactly who did. Victor brushed her off with a smirk, denying any involvement, but hinting that he found Kane's suffering useful. For Winters he claimed respect, for Jabot, he offered none. His message was clear: the Abbotts were fair game. Adam entered during the exchange, surprised to see Lily. Once she left, Victor filled him in on the Matt Clark situation. Adam, shocked, agreed that they couldn't allow someone that dangerous to slip through the cracks, especially with Nick directly in harm's way. Then another bombshell dropped: Abbott Communications was about to relaunch, funded not by Jack, but by Jill. Adam believed they could cripple the entire operation by convincing Jill to pull the plug. Victor didn't disagree. With his enemies distracted, he could strike Jabot when they least expected it. Two wars. One Newman command center. And Victor relished every minute. Sharon and Nick fear the worst. Back in Los Angeles, Sharon burst into Nick's room after hearing Noah had vanished from the hospital. The terror in her voice was unmistakable. Their history with Matt Clark was long and bloody, and she feared this nightmare was starting all over again. Nick shared his plan to meet Detective Burrow alone. Sharon hated it. She believed the detective was hiding something, possibly even connected to Matt. But Nick insisted on going solo. Clark expected fear, and Nick refused to give him an advantage. He promised to update Sharon, kissed her on the cheek, and left, but the look in his eyes said what he didn't: if Matt harmed Noah, Nick wasn't coming back with handcuffs. He was coming back for vengeance. The athletic club, a painful collision. Back in Genoa City, Lily prepared to leave the club after debating whether to reach out to Kane. Her longing for closure, or reconnection, was clear in her eyes. Then the moment she dreaded happened. Down the staircase came Kane and Phyllis, laughing, flirting, glowing from their afternoon together. Kane froze when he saw Lily. Phyllis watched the tension like a hawk. In an instant, Lily's expression hardened: shock, heartbreak, then steely resolve. Whatever she had come to understand about Kane earlier that day shattered before her eyes. And Kane realized too late: the one person he hoped to win back now saw everything she needed to walk away. Today's next update. Y&R 2-week shockers, November 17th to 28th. Adam's fury, Matt's kidnapping scheme and Thanksgiving chaos ahead. The next 2 weeks on The Young and the Restless promise a roller coaster of danger, seduction, sabotage, and holiday interruptions. From Adam Newman unleashing a ruthless offensive to Matt Clark tightening his grip on the Newman family, the period of November 17th to 28th sets the stage for dramatic confrontations that will rock Genoa City and beyond. Add in preemptions, a major wedding, and new movers in the LAPD, and viewers are in for one wild stretch. Here's your 1,100-word, copyright-safe, YouTube-friendly breakdown of everything coming up. Holden and Claire, secrets, sparks, and a brewing Audra explosion. The week kicks off with Claire Grace and Holden Novak finally unpacking their chaotic Los Angeles trip, and yes, that includes them ending up in bed. Holden tries to figure out where he stands, assuming Claire might return to Kyle once they're back home. Claire quickly shuts that down. She's not restarting anything with Kyle, but she's also refusing to jump into a relationship with anyone. Holden takes the boundary in stride, though he wonders if Claire pulled away because of the truth he revealed about his history with Audra Charles and the mysterious money that passed between them. Speaking of Audra, the universe wastes no time throwing her into their path. She immediately needles them, hinting that Claire ditched Kyle for a flashier guy like Holden. Claire fires back with a brutal takedown, calling out Audra's past dealings with Victor and suggesting she was paid off for her involvement with Kyle. The tension is razor-sharp, and Claire seems dangerously close to bringing Audra's secrets into the open. If she follows through, Audra's entire life in Genoa City could implode overnight. Lily defends Kane, while Kane gets cozy with Phyllis. Over at Newman Media, Lily Winters doubles down on defending Kane Ashby. She insists to Adam and Chelsea that Kane was trying to destroy his controversial AI system, not weaponize it. She accuses Victor of swiping the tech and twisting the narrative to set Kane up. Lily also tells Adam plainly, "Your father lies as easily as he breathes." Afterward, Lily leaves Kane an unexpected voicemail, expressing regret over how harshly she judged him. If he can be patient, she hints, there may still be hope for them. It's the first true sign she's cracked her emotional door back open. Unfortunately, Kane is nowhere near his phone. While Lily wonders whether a future with him still exists, Kane is across town sharing drinks, jokes, and sultry glances with Phyllis Summers. She tells him she doesn't want him fixed. She likes him exactly as he is, no flaws and all. They head upstairs, and once behind closed doors, the chemistry explodes. If Kane listens to Lily's voicemail later, he may regret the timing of everything that went down with Phyllis. Victor's quiet war and a dangerous father-son alliance. Tuesday's spoilers reveal Jack Abbott cornering Nikki Newman about Victor's latest power plays, especially the possibility that Kane's AI theft is one more step toward a full-blown attack on Jabot. Jack tries warning Nikki that Victor is gearing up for something reckless and destructive, but Nikki refuses to betray her husband's plans. Meanwhile, Victor extends support to Nick, who is still in Los Angeles unraveling the horrifying truth about Matt Clark. Victor appears to be working angles behind the scenes, possibly even using influence to put a new LAPD detective on the case. With Detective Burrow already giving off every possible sign of being compromised, a new face could shake things up fast. And while all that unfolds, Phyllis and Kane continue to steam up the GCAC, setting up emotional fallout that may hit in the most complicated week possible. Audra scrambles, Nikki spills history and Holden bonds with Lily. Midweek, Audra goes into crisis mode. With Sally Spectra's company still ramping up, Audra fears her promised job isn't guaranteed, and Claire knowing too much about the LA fiasco makes that fear 10 times worse. Her plan is simple, silence Claire before Claire detonates her reputation. That same day, Nikki gives Claire a crash course in Newman history, including Matt Clark's monstrous past with Sharon and Nick. If Claire wasn't alarmed about Matt before, she will be after hearing that story. Holden, meanwhile, spends part of the day connecting with Lily. They share a common thread, both are grieving Damien Kane. But their conversation also dips into the complications in their personal lives, especially Lily's confusion about Kane and Holden's belief that Claire is slipping further out of his reach. Matt strikes, Sharon ambushed, Noah and Sienna imprisoned. Thursday brings one of the darkest turns yet. A new LAPD detective, Annie Stewart, debuts, and early hints suggest she already suspects Burrow is dirty. That alone could blow Matt Clark's underground network apart. As for Matt, he makes an aggressive move of his own. When a fire alarm goes off at Sharon's hotel, she opens her door, and Matt forces his way in. Whether he plans to kidnap her or terrorize her into silence remains unclear, but Sharon isn't going down without a fight. According to recent cast interviews, Matt is shocked by the fierce resistance she puts up. Meanwhile, Noah Newman and Sienna Bacall wake up trapped in a hidden room. Noah is in worse condition, suggesting Burrow or another of Matt's henchmen roughed him up. Sienna tries frantically to wake him as he drifts in and out, unsure how he even got there. Nick is still in pursuit of answers. With Detective Annie Stewart now in play, the race to save Noah intensifies, but if Matt has Sharon cornered too, things could turn catastrophic fast. A wedding warms the chaos, Danny and Christine tie the knot. Friday, November 21st kicks off Danny Romalotti and Christine Williams' long-awaited wedding celebration, stretching across Friday and into Monday, November 24th. The ceremony is filled with sentimental details. Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti perform an original song. The reception features a donut tree instead of a cake. Familiar faces like Michael, Lauren, Jack, and Diane show up. Gina Roma and Nina Webster return as special guests. It's one of the rare bright spots in a month full of fear and betrayal. Thanksgiving week, preemptions, Newman attacks and Audra on the brink. Thanksgiving week brings only 3 episodes, with Thursday and Friday preempted for sports. But those 3 episodes will pack plenty of drama. Adam and Victor join forces against Billy and Sally's new media company. Their goal? Identify the mystery investor and force a withdrawal of funds. Jill Abbott is the prime suspect, and if she gets spooked, especially by the threat of Kane's stolen AI, she may back out. If she does, Sally's dream collapses before launch. Nikki should oppose Victor using the AI as a weapon, but Victor rarely listens when the target is Jack. Claire may expose Audra's secrets, perhaps even feeding the story to Adam so he can blast it across Newman Media. Kyle may use the holiday to try drawing Claire closer, but she may cling to her Newman roots instead. And with Crystal Khalil's maternity leave nearing, Lily's sudden exit may erupt into fresh blame, heartbreak, and a potential war between Kane and Phyllis. Today's next update. Y&R 3-week shockwave, Matt Clark's deadly game explodes, Sharon and Nick brace for the worst. Over the next 3 weeks on The Young and the Restless, Genoa City is about to be hit with a storm no one sees coming. A familiar nightmare resurfaces when the man posing as Mitch Bacall finally shows his true identity, the long-dead menace, Matt Clark. And this time, he's not hiding behind masks, lies, or illusions. He's stepping directly into Sharon and Nick's world, determined to settle old scores in the most destructive way possible. Week of November 17th to 21st, a Newman family emergency erupts. Nick Newman tries to get ahead of the threat by digging deeper into Matt's recent movements, hoping to uncover enough dirt to stop him before things spiral. But once Nick realizes how dangerous Matt's plans are becoming, he calls in the one person who doesn't hesitate to go to war, Victor Newman. Victor and Nick align with a common purpose, neutralizing Matt before he destroys their family. While father and son strategize, Sharon faces her own terrifying confrontation. Matt shows up uninvited at her hotel room, triggering a moment of panic. But Sharon is no longer the frightened young woman she once was. She regains her composure and lets Matt know she won't be intimidated this time. Meanwhile, Matt's scheme expands. Noah Newman and Sienna Bacall land right in the crossfire and are soon held captive by Matt and Detective Burrow, who appears to be working a disturbing angle of his own. Their disappearance sparks a frantic search, and a new detective, Annie Stewart, steps into the chaos. Whether Annie is the key to finding Noah and Sienna, or unknowingly walking into Matt's trap, remains to be seen. Passion ignites in Genoa City, and old wounds reopen. Back home, Kane Ashby finds himself drawn into a dangerously seductive moment with Phyllis Summers. Their chemistry intensifies quickly, leaving Kane questioning everything, including his future with Lily Winters. Lily watches Kane's sudden transformation from a distance, unsure whether she's losing him forever or on the verge of a second chance. But as she and Holden Novak begin to confide in each other about the messiness of their personal lives, they stumble into a deeper, more vulnerable connection. One emotional conversation may be all it takes for something new to spark between them. Holden, however, is being tugged in every possible direction as the tension between Claire Newman and Audra Charles grows hotter. Audra begins laying the groundwork for another scheme, one she believes will end the feud on her terms. Wedding bells. And trouble looming. The long-awaited wedding between Christine Blair and Danny Romalotti arrives on November 21st and continues through November 24th. Family and friends, including Nina Webster and Gina Roma, gather for the elegant two-day ceremony. Christine and Danny's vows promise a future full of love, but not everyone in the room stands behind their union with pure intentions. Phyllis's presence threatens to overshadow the happiness of the big day. Her unresolved feelings for Danny and her talent for generating chaos mean the newlyweds may face heartbreak sooner than expected. At the reception, Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti Jr. deliver a performance that reignites sparks neither of them is prepared for. The question lingering afterward, will lingering emotions lead them somewhere dangerous? Week of December 1st to 5th, Matt makes his move. By early December, Sharon, Nick, Noah, and Sienna finally make their way back to Genoa City. The trauma of the ordeal leaves scars, but the Newmans believe they have shut Matt down for good. They're wrong. Matt shadows them right back into town, and his next steps are even more destructive. Sharon and Nick sense something is off, but they don't realize how close Matt already is or how deeply his revenge plot has burrowed into their families' lives. Noah and Sienna resume their romance, unaware they're still unraveling threads Matt left behind. Every decision they make could unknowingly move them into his line of fire. As the week closes, Matt finally strikes. His plan is sharper, darker, and far more personal than before. The danger he brings threatens to shake Genoa City to its core. Today's next update. Y&R November 18th, Victor and Nick launch counterattack, Jack pressures Nikki, and Kane and Phyllis cross the line. The stakes skyrocket on the Young and the Restless this Tuesday as battles erupt on both coasts. In Los Angeles, Victor and Nick Newman pull together to challenge the growing threat posed by Matt Clark. Meanwhile in Genoa City, Jack Abbott confronts Nikki Newman about Victor's increasingly aggressive moves. And back in LA, a dangerous chemistry between Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers hits a boiling point. Victor and Nick strike back at Matt. Nick continues to fear for his son as Matt Clark's shadow looms larger over Noah's life. The tension in Los Angeles reaches a flashpoint when Victor arrives, unwilling to let his family fend for themselves. Despite juggling chaos back in Genoa City, including weaponizing Kane's AI scandal for his own gain, Victor makes it clear that protecting Noah comes first. Father and son unite, pooling resources, influence, and sheer determination to shut Matt down. Victor believes swift retaliation is the only language Matt understands, and Nick is ready to go to war right beside him. But Matt Clark has always been a slippery enemy. Even cornered, he has a way of slipping through cracks and finding new angles to strike. Victor and Nick may have launched their counterattack, but the danger to Noah isn't over, not by a long shot. Jack demands the truth from Nikki. Back in Genoa City, Victor's recent actions have sent shockwaves through the business world. Chabot is once again in Victor's crosshairs, leaving Jack Abbott, Diane Jenkins Abbott, and Kyle Abbott scrambling to figure out his next move. The Abbotts aren't just suspicious, they're rattled. That's why Jack heads straight to Nikki, hoping she can shed some light on Victor's intentions. Their long history brings both tension and honesty to their conversation. Nikki has been through hell recently, from her personal struggles to surviving dangerous threats, and Jack has been one of the people standing by her side. That loyalty is precisely what provoked Victor's wrath to begin with. Jack presses for information. What does Victor really want? How far is he willing to go? And what role is Nikki playing in all this? Whether Nikki chooses to protect her husband or help an old friend puts her in a complicated and emotionally charged position. Kane and Phyllis turn a bad idea into something worse. Over in Los Angeles, a storm of a different kind brews. Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers have been circling each other for weeks, their flirtation growing bolder every time they meet. Last Friday, that tension snapped into a kiss Lily Winters walked in on. For Lily, it was the final straw. Everything Kane had been trying to rebuild with her instantly collapsed. After his failed attempt to reason with Lily, Kane returned to Phyllis for drinks, a decision fueled by frustration, confusion, and the undeniable pull between them. Now, on November 18th, the sparks that started at the bar turn into a full blaze. Kane brings Phyllis back to his room, and the two give in to the chemistry they've been trying to ignore. What begins as a moment of passion quickly turns into something more reckless. Phyllis and Kane aren't thinking about consequences, not Lily, not reputations, not the emotional fallout waiting for both of them. They're chasing the thrill, the distraction, the chaos. But in Genoa City and LA alike, choices always have a way of coming back to haunt people. What's next? Victor and Nick's alliance may be strong, but Matt Clark has already shown he's capable of slipping past every attempt to corner him. Jack's confrontation with Nikki could either uncover Victor's plot, or make things even messier. And Kane and Phyllis may enjoy the rush of their forbidden connection, but nothing in Genoa City stays secret for long. Tuesday's episode promises explosive confrontations, risky choices, and alliances that could turn the tide, or ignite new disasters. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.